Pioneer viewers, we continue to bring you developments regarding the Russia-Ukraine war. As you know, the war continues, and we know that both states are experiencing difficulties in the middle of an ongoing war, and the methods of combating to the difficulties experienced by the states may vary. The conflict environment has intensified in recent days, and the news from the front shows that there will be an intense summer war. Exciting developments continue to come one after the another for the Ukrainian army, and we are reporting that the training of the personnel for the Ukrainian army's air force is very close to completion. Ukrainian pilots have completed their critical training processes and are almost ready to take up their positions in the Ukrainian army. This training program and the start of deployment of the Ukrainian pilots is of great importance. In the terms of the Air Force, the Ukrainian army has often conducted operations using unmanned aerial vehicles. With the delivery of the fighter jets and the commissioning of the pilots, the Ukrainian Air Force will gain an important element of power. This training of the Ukrainian army is causing uneasiness in Moscow, and in previous statements, Russian officials have expressed their reactions to the delivery of F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine. At this point, Moscow has been unable to prevent this, and European countries and the US have made significant efforts to train Ukrainian pilots. The deliveries of the fighter jets will also take place soon. The supply of ammunition and weapons to the Ukrainian army also continues. Recent announcements indicate that another large-scale support package for the Ukrainian army is on its way. After the news welcomed by the Kiev authorities, a large-scale preparation was initiated. The Ukrainian army wants to get all its strength before the summer arrives in full. Full preparations are being made against a possible Russian attack. Kiev authorities state that they will fully fight against the Russian attacks in the coming days as they did before. The latest developments are of great importance for Ukraine. So now, if you're ready, let's examine the latest developments together. But as the Pioneer team, we continue to bring you the latest developments on the Russia-Ukraine war. So do not forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our daily reports and explanations. You know that I also read all of your comments. Please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments, and tell me in the comments what content you would like to see on our channel. Let's start if you're ready, because the Pioneer is reporting. A spokesman for the Ukrainian Air Force has announced that some of his country's pilots have finished training to fly F-16 fighters Falcon jets. Ukrainian news outlets reported the other day that a Major Ilya Yavalish, who was appointed head of the Air Force's Republic Relations Service in March, said the Ukrainian pilots had completed preparations to fly the US-made aircraft. Military analysts see the addition for F-16s to Kiev army as an upgrade to the Air Force. For most of the war launched by the Russian President Putin in February 2022, Ukraine has used Soviet-era MiG and Sukhoi jets, and the newly procured aircraft feature more advanced technology, and it is also important to be able to use ammunition that meets NATO standards. Kiev's allies, the European countries, have pledged to provide Ukraine with the F-16s. In addition, Ukrainian pilots are being trained by an international coalition to fly the fighter jets. The training is taking place in France, the United Kingdom, Denmark, Romania, and the United States. The training is taking place in phases and will be completed very soon. Ukrainian officials said in a statement that preparations are ongoing, and this process is going on continuously at various levels, and we already have pilots who have directly completed their training in F-16s, and as soon as it is possible, F-16 fighter jets will arrive in Ukraine. The pilots who have completed their trainings will be ready to carry out combat missions directly in Ukrainian airspace, he added. The British Ministry of Defense previously shared the progress in training Ukrainian pilots in late March. It said that 10 Ukrainian pilots had graduated from a UK military flight school after intensive training with Royal Air Force instructors, and these pilots then went to the more advanced fighting training in France. Defense Minister Grant Shapps said that at the time that the Ukrainian pilots had received the necessary of the best training available and were now one step closer to joining the fight against Putin's illegal occupation, The news was greeted with enthusiasms in Kiev as the intensive training of the Ukrainian pilots were about to come to an end. So another good news for Ukraine came from Germany. Germany has pledged to buy 3 new M14-2 high-mobility artillery rocket system, popularly known as HIMARSes, for Ukraine, as Western countries seek to support Kiev against relentless Russian assault on its eastern front. In cooperation with the Americans, we will buy 3 HIMARS launchers for Ukraine. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius told reporters during a visit to Washington, D.C., the day after a meeting with Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. The weapons from the U.S. will be paid for by the armed forces and by us, he said. So the American-made HIMARS proved crucial when it was first introduced into the combat in the summer of 2022. The systems can fire a salvo of 6 rockets that hit targets up to 50 miles away, making Russian troops' concentrations, command posts and supply centers inaccessible. HIMARS has become a symbol of the Ukrainian military power and a prime target for the Russian forces. The US has supplied at least 39 HIMARS to Ukraine since the start of the full-scale invasion from Russia in February 2022. The UK, Germany, Italy and France have also donated 25 M270 multiple launch rocket systems, the tracked version of HIMARS. The M270 is less mobile than the wheeled HIMARS but has twice the rocket capacity. So the US is also supplying ATACM systems, the longest range version of the MGM-140 Army tactical missile systems, which is currently the top of Kiev's recruitment list and Ukraine requirements list. And Ukraine can now use the missiles, which can be fired from HIMARS and M270 launchers, to hit the Russian targets from up to 190 miles away. The Ukrainian army's combat experience and changes in the balance of power have contributed significantly to its power. Moscow officials are following the developments with concern. Kiev authorities are doing their best to end the illegal occupation as soon as possible. So, do you think the pilots trained for the Ukrainian army will be able to make a difference when they take office? How can the strengthening of the Ukrainian armed forces change the balance of the war? And what do you think about the support packages given to the Ukrainian army? And how do you think the firepower of the Ukrainian army compares to Russia? You know that we care about your opinion, so please share it with us.